Here I am, roving reporter for EVTV, Mike Brown. Briefly touched down in Austin, Texas, and I'm at a BMW dealership on Labor Day, and they're open, selling cars, and we can pan around. There's one i3, and there's two more over there. So see if I can find a helpful salesman and go for a ride and see what the car's all about. Rolling with Jess in a BMW i3, my first time sitting in one. We're at BMW of Austin. They've got lots of shiny gas cars, but we're not interested in those.
Oh, those are fun too.
Yes, that's true. Looking at the sticker here, base price $41,350, which is that's a really good price. 22 kilowatt hour pack, and J1772 charging at 7.4 kilowatts. That's pretty good. We're paying extra for paint, heated front seats, and it says $99 for nitrogen. Is that nitrogen tires, right?
Trying to stabilize them from the small swings we have in weather down here.
Yeah. So it's a pretty futuristic looking console with a driver's screen and then a center screen. And what did you do to get us rolling? What do you have to do? Is there a fob in your pocket?
Yeah, there's a...
Okay.
The key basically acts as a fob, starts here.
Yeah.
Roll this forward for drive, roll this backwards for reverse, and park is on top.
Okay. Very smooth. And is it a single speed gearbox, or does it actually shift? Okay, single speed gearbox.
There is no transmission.
Right.
Also, with the regenerative braking, you actually don't need the brakes most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're used to that.
If you can plan to stop, you can just ease the throttle and she'll stop by herself.
Is there any adjustment of the aggressiveness of the regen?
Not to my
or
knowledge.
just the way it comes?
Just
okay,
the way it comes.
Good.
And it does take a little bit to get used to.
Yeah. So on the screen, it got a miles per kilowatt hour display, which is basically how hard you're pushing the car.
Right, and I have a swing gauge right here that'll allow me to meter how I'm doing. So if I increase speed, I use more. And if I decrease speed, I'll actually charge.
Okay.
So I always know exactly how I'm doing as far as that moment's worth of driving.
Yeah. And that was pretty aggressive acceleration when you hit the gas, or hit the accelerator, not the gas.
We try to get used to not saying gas as much as this car.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
The car is actually quite quick.
Mm-hmm. And what did you say for the curb weight? 2,700 pounds. That's great. And it's got about the same interior space as a 5 Series.
Correct.
So it's really quite roomy. Oh, here we go. That's 50, 60, 70, and we're not going to say anything after that.
Well, we'll slow down because we're well past what the limited speed is.
Right.
But the car accelerates very briskly.
Yes.
Briskly 0 to 60.
Yes, no problem there. Want me to write that away? Okay.
Slide that right there out of the way.
So the styling is it's got the front door, and then the back door is actually a suicide door, opens that way. And it's got quite roomy back seats and a good size hatch. And you said the frame is aluminum and then carbon fiber.
The rest of the body skin is carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Or body shell.
Yeah, and then just plastic shell for the roof.
Well, all the exterior panels are thermoform plastic.
Here in Texas, where you need the aircon, you're looking at about an 80-mile range.
80 to 85 is what we're discovering.
Yeah, and that's quite competitive and good for people who are just driving around town.
It's worked out pretty well. Most people, it's within their realm of how they travel on a daily basis. Obviously, it's not a car you drive to Dallas from here, but...
Yeah. And what's Austin like for public charging?
Over 300 charging stations these days.
Oh, okay.
So quite good. Austin Energy's been a great partner in that as far as getting things together and trying to concentrate they believe that this will be a very good future for them and for the environment. So they've been very good about not only having charging stations, but having an incentive to install charging at home.
Was going to be my next question. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, State of Texas has a program, Austin Energy has a program, and of course the federal government has a tax program.
And you said it's about 4 hours on J1772 plug?
The 220, yes.
Yeah,
and that's
220.
if it's dead empty.
Right.
Which, obviously they rarely get there. But.
And then the car is also capable of the SAE combo plug with DC.
Correct.
And that, I think that's the first one I've seen. I know GM is working on that for some upcoming cars. I think the Spark might have that.
And I don't know enough about their product.
Yeah.
I know we've taken a few volts in, and they had the regular 220.
Right.
But I hadn't seen anything else beyond that.
Not the combo one yet. The ride is nice and firm, as you would expect from a good handling BMW.
It's BMW tight.
Yes.
The nice thing, as the car's curb weight is very light, and it's almost a 50-50 weight distribution, the steering is really quick and agile, and the center of gravity is enormously low given the battery packs are on the floorboard. And so the car actually handles quite well in spite of its very narrow tires.
Okay. Now you can get this with a what's the term? Not a range extender, but
range extender.
Yeah, so
this REX variant of this, which is a 2-cylinder gasoline-powered generator in the front of the vehicle that just simply creates power for the electric drive system.
Okay.
But
it doesn't actually contribute to the drive at all, like the Volt can with the planetary gear system can contribute to the motion.
This is 100% electric drive all the time.
Okay.
So when the range extender comes on, it's like a train. It's simply making electricity for the motors to go on.
Right.
Oh my goodness, there's brakes.
Oh yeah, no brakes the whole time.
Yep. So far so good. We'll get about 50% of the time. It's when that light turns red, you're not expecting it.
Yeah. And I was reading on the sheet the battery pack warranty.
Is that yours?
Yeah, 8-year, 100,000 mile high voltage battery warranty, 4-year, 50,000 mile vehicle, 12-year on rust, and 4 years roadside assistance.
I thought the rust one myself was a little weak.
Yeah, not so much iron in this car. Yeah.
I suspect I can find some bolts or something somewhere that'll rust, but it won't be the aluminum and it won't be the carbon.
Right. Does the state of Texas have a rebate program for electric cars?
$2,500.
$2,500. That's good. And then $7,500 federal, as long as you have enough income to offset the credit. Yeah. So that's good. So this car could essentially cost you $33,000, and you save $9,000 in fuel. So that's a $24,000 car that you're just driving down the road.
Yeah, the fuel cost is nice.
And it's made in Leipzig.
Well, it's from a little bit all over, but yes, its final assembly point is Germany. The carbon is actually made here in the U.S., sourced out of Japan.
Okay.
So.
And where are the batteries sourced from? Who's your battery partner?
The battery partner is Samsung. I don't know where they're sourced from.
Okay.
I would suspect South Korea or China.
Yeah, South Korea. Unless they have a rogue factory somewhere.
That's your guess is as good as mine. I've asked the question and I never really found an answer.
Yeah. Nice little turbine whine coming from the back.
Very faint. Car handles very nicely.
Oh yeah. Wow. Reminds me of my dad's old 530i.
It drives like a BMW.
It sure does. Oof. I felt like I was back on the autocross track a couple of weeks ago.
The autocross?
Well, at the electric car show, we had an autocross track set up by the SCCA group out of St. Louis.
Oh, that
and we had an 1/8 mile drag strip and a dynamometer on the back of a truck.
I'd like to have participated in the autocross anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the drag strip. I'm afraid a Tesla might out-accelerate us, but...
Yeah, we had a Tesla there. And there's one homemade electric dragster that's the fastest quarter mile in the world for a car with doors. It beat every gasoline car going.
Wow.
Yeah. And the same convention's coming up next year in September, if you want to come
Where
out
is it
for
at?
it. Just south of St. Louis in Cape Girardeau.
Okay. Not nearby.
No. Well, I flew all the way from Thailand to go, so
Oh my!
I got a trophy for the farthest
Farthest-
traveled attendee.
It would have been difficult to displace you from Thailand.
Well, we had some guys from New Zealand that I had to fist fight with to
Oh,
get it,
Thailand's
but-
farther than New Zealand, for heaven's
Yeah.
sakes. Not easier, but farther.
Yeah. Depends on which way you fly around the planet. I think they went to California and I went around over Asia and Europe.
Yeah, I was going to say, from Thailand, usually you get the northern route past Japan and Korea.
Yeah.
I always thought it was interesting. That's the shortest distance.
Okay, while we're at this, oh, there we go, green light. I was going to say, is there anything else that we want to highlight about the car?
I would say it's the reality of it is it's a quick and agile car, great for urban transportation, and quite frankly, in a very livable package. It's AC and heat. I shouldn't say that. I should say the AC works well, and I suspect the heat does too. Although I haven't had a chance to try it.
No.
And I think it could be something that people could, and we sold a number of them. Easily drive on a daily basis.
Yeah. Power brakes, power steering, all the creature comforts you would expect.
A little more steering feel than most cars, as a BMW tends to have.
Yeah. And it's got, you can pair your telephone, it has sat nav built in, all the things you would expect. Yeah.
All the normal stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, here we are. Well, thanks.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. And hopefully sell some BMWs for you today.